Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked Tarot and Oracle Readings done Stacy style. And today is video 4 of my little eBay lot box tarot purchase. And we are going to be opening up this Van Gogh tarot. And of course, Mr. Neo has to be a part of it. I actually could have had this video recorded twice over, but he decided that this was Mama Love time. And of course, how can you say no to Mama Love? So you're going to get a little cat butt in the face. That's just the way we roll here in the House of Stacy. So this one, I wasn't too sure about. So here's the interesting thing. I love art. I can appreciate the Van Gogh and the story of Van Gogh. I actually went to a really cool pop-up exhibit. I think it was 2 summers ago in the Raleigh area. And it was so cool. They basically took this warehouse that really didn't have anything going on and they turned it into like it's our own private Van Gogh museum. And it was really cool. They had a lot of mixed media to explain his story. They did a lot of like reenactment displays of like what his house looked like, what his painting room looked like. It was just really, really cool. And so when I saw this as part of the sort of the lot box, I thought, okay, I'm not always a fan of his work. Like I don't love his work. I appreciate his work, but we'll see what happens. I thought, why not, in a tarot? And it's really cool that it's an older deck, but it's still in the packaging, right? It's still in the cellophane. So it is in a tuck box style, which is not always my favorite. Kind of a flimsier deck. But it is what it is. I call it cigarette box, and this is exactly like that. It's like opening up a box of cigarettes. It's a 78 card deck. It does not indicate on the box who the publisher is. So we'll just have to open up and see what's going on. I don't even know how old this deck is. And it doesn't look like it comes with a pamphlet either. Okay, so it's going to be a surprise. So let's take a look at the card back here. This might be one of those sort of one-offs, not really a collector's item, but just sort of a one-off tarot deck. So it's interesting that they've chosen, of course, the night sky, that Starry Night. That's probably his most popular in terms of like out in the world, pop culture. What I'm not a fan of is that they've chosen a picture that has to be lengthwise rather than, that has to be widthwise on a lengthwise tarot deck. So not particularly a fan of that. That kind of stresses me out a little bit, but it is what it is. The cardstock is flimsy. It's a smaller deck. I would say we could almost say that this is like a mini deck rather than a regular tarot size deck. So let's just take a look here. Here we have the Fool. So I'll just move this off to the side. Okay, here we have the Fool card. So we've got a little bit of a sheen to the picture. And the Fool card is, he definitely has that energy and that feel. We have a lot of the stars in the sky. We've got the moon, the man in the moon. We don't have a dog in this picture. We just have him kind of being swept up in the moment, swept up by maybe the air that's coming up and coming through. Here we have the Magician. Oh, and interesting, the Magician is actually holding a Magician tarot card. Yeah, this definitely feels like one of those knockoff decks. So I thought it was going to be something a bit different, but it's not. The High Priestess has, I want to say, like in terms of a, sort of a travel deck or a purse deck, it's the right size and shape. I wouldn't say that these images are like screaming at me, but I'm not mad at the images either. It's kind of an older, like an old school, sorry, I've got cat hair all over me now. It's kind of an old school approach to the card deck because we've got borders. We've got a big border at the bottom with the archetype name. And then we've got the image in a gold border. It's not great, but it's not bad. But definitely, I want to say this is a cheaply made deck. So I thought it was something very different. I'm not mad at it, but I'm not in love with it either. Here we have the Hierophant, the Lovers. This one's kind of cool. It almost looks like they're using like a pendulum map or something. They're definitely like conspiring together. The Chariot. Oh, I'm liking this image. Kind of swept away, swept up. You're seeing a lot of that Van Gogh movement. So this is definitely a style of Van Gogh. The cards are in the style of Van Gogh. Strength card. The Hermit, the older gentleman sitting in those beautiful sunflowers in that night sky. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, that's cool. It's like a well. And we have the Wheel of Fortune is like the sun in the night sky. It's kind of interesting. Justice. I like all the light around the Justice card. The Hanged Man. A little disturbing. He really is hanging. I don't think that's the whole point of the Hanged Man card, so that's a little disturbing. Here's the Death card. Interesting that the Grim Reaper is coming to kill things that are already dead. Maybe these are his trophies. I don't know. That seems really odd. Maybe he's communing with the things that are leaving. He's repurposing them. Here's the Temperance card. Interesting. She looks a little more like Lady Justice. We're used to seeing her with cups. I guess the Justice scales are her cups in this particular depiction. Here's the Devil. I would say to you that this card deck has been made by someone who maybe doesn't fully understand tarot. They're just going based on the archetypes. Yeah, because the Tower isn't even damaged here. The Star card. The Moon. Yeah, definitely done by somebody who doesn't fully, I want to say, understand the system of tarot. The Sun. So this is definitely, I want to say I'm feeling a little wah-wah about this deck. I'm not mad at the imagery, but this is definitely a deck that isn't going to like speak to me a ton. It's more the kind of deck where I might use this in a video. Here's the World card. I might use it in a video where I'm just kind of talking about tarot, right, in general, but not necessarily to get a ton of messaging out of it. Here's the King of Wands. Queen of Wands. Yeah, she doesn't even have a kitty cat next to her. Knight of Wands happening here. Page of Wands. That's kind of cool that it's the sunflower theme. 10 of Wands. So rewards and the burdens that go with it. Doesn't feel like a burdened card at all. It feels more like the opportunity to focus on all of the different opportunities that you've had in your life. 9 of Wands. Oh, I like that there's all the animals in this. Kind of an animalistic energy, fencing in the animals. 8 of Wands. Swift release. Although I want to say there's not a whole lot of release work happening. Actually, it looks like all the wands are connected into one another. So there really isn't any release. It's more like it's generating the energy because it wants to bust out. It wants to release. Here's the 7 of Wands. Nothing to do with the actual card meaning itself. 6 of Wands. So this is usually victory, a card of victory. I would say this looks a little more like a harvest type card to me. 5 of Wands. So definitely he looks sad here. He's despondent. There's another person that he's interacting with here. I don't know that I get grief, but I get exhaustion. I get tired. 4 of Wands. So there's some level maybe of celebration happening here, but it almost looks like he has no head. I'm sure his head is kind of down, but it just looks like this body with these arms holding up these wands. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Three of Wands. So Three of Wands is usually a card of expansion. Yes, we have some symbols here, lit up, indicating that there's some new knowledge, new awareness that's coming into the mix. Two of Wands, making a choice, choosing a direction. Ace of Wands. King of Cups. So he's celebrating with people here. Queen of Cups. She's pretty. She's reading tarot cards. I like that. Knight of Cups. I like that he's sort of in the shadow and that the light is illuminating. Page of Cups. 10 of Cups. We talk about this card as like the ideal outcome that you have. I would say this feels a little more like 10 of Pentacles than I would say it feels like 10 of Cups. I feel like the family's got their heads are down in prayer, maybe getting ready to do some kind of feast. 9 of Cups. So we usually call this the greedy merchant card. Wishes fulfilled, all sorts of things. I would say, okay, wishes fulfilled. There's a lot of water coming through these different cups. It's kind of a cool image. 8 of Cups. So this is typically a walking away. Each of the cups has its own image. I would think that this would work better for the 7 of Cups, giving you different choices. But maybe these are memories that you're having that you're now letting go and releasing. You're walking away into something new. Or this could be the visions of what you're choosing to walk towards. Here's that 7 of Cups. So yeah, this doesn't really feel to me like a 7 of Cups energy because it doesn't really, there are some images actually on these cards that I'm looking at, but they're all in shadow. And the focus is on the light in the sky. And I don't feel a connection to this at all. 6 of Cups. So this is that nostalgia energy. Some people read it as the soulmate card. I'm just seeing it as it's kind of a cool balancing of a bunch of cups on a table. It's not really telling me anything. 5 of Cups. This is grief. That grief energy. There's nothing sad about this at all. The cups are all standing. They're all full. Yeah, this is definitely made by somebody who doesn't understand the tarot, and maybe they were trying to make this a little bit of a pip deck and using some of the Van Gogh style in the background. I'm not really sure. Here's the 3 of Cups. We've got a single person, so there really isn't celebration here. 2 of Cups, just 2 cups side by side with the background, the Van Gogh background. Ace of Cups. This is odd. The water just seems to be coming out of nowhere, pouring into the cup. King of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. That looks a little more, I want to say, in line with the theme. Knight of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. So I suppose this could be a little more like ancestry. Again, we have these little images within each of the pentacles that could be, family portraits and things of that nature. Here we have the 9 of Pentacles, which is usually like, showing off your skills and gratitude for what you have to offer. This just looks kind of like almost like a shield. 8 of Pentacles. This is that Virgo card. So he's sweeping off he's keeping up on his details. He's sweeping off the Pentacles. So he is doing a little work in that regard. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is usually the harvest, reaping the rewards of the harvest. I just feel like it's another rendition of what we just saw. 6 of Pentacles. So 6 of Pentacles is generosity. maybe there's some generosity going on. It actually looks a little more like there's a meeting, a networking, or maybe a marriage of sorts or a contract of sorts. I do see this as a contract card, so that, that makes sense. Creating a contract by the light of the stars. 5 of Pentacles, it's a card of worry. Maybe there's a little swirling, maybe there's a little storm, maybe. 4 of Pentacles, so we have a man who looks like, okay, so this is supposed to be the Van Gogh, I guess, with all of his paint brushes, but he looks pretty calm. He looks pretty relaxed. 3 of Pentacles. So there is a collaboration that's happening there. 2 of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. King of Swords. Queen of Swords. Knight of Swords. Yeah, I'm just not feeling this. I thought this was going to be a very different thing, and I'm really disappointed in this. 10 of Swords. 9 of Swords. These cards just really don't they don't preserve the essence of the story of tarot, the symbolism of the tarot. 6 of Swords. 5 of Swords. The sword suit just feels like a pip, sort of a pip deck. So there isn't even consistency in the style from suit to suit. 3 of Swords. 2 of Swords. And the Ace of Swords. Well, like, that's why it's in a lot. They throw a couple of really great ones that get you excited, and then they throw in some other ones that they can't seem to get rid of, into the mix. And that's just the way it works. So in true Stacey style and fashion, if you happen to be a person who really likes this deck, and that's totally okay, we can agree to disagree. Let's pull a card to see how this deck is going to work with you. Like I said, I don't think that I couldn't work with this deck. I think this would just be one of those decks where I just literally pull the card out. I see the Empress, and then I just read based on what I know of the Empress Tarot. It's not really that I'm getting a lot from the card itself. Okay, King of Pentacles. So it is going to give you, I want to say, guidance around the things that have already been established in your life. I don't know that it's going to give you futuristic information, but it may give you guidance and direction and support around what you've got going on right now and how you can continue to maintain that, how you can continue to make that grow. King energy is divine masculine energy in general, so there is some action-oriented stuff, but I want to say Pentacles energy, he kind of sits back. He's not really, I want to say, the king that's going to go out and do a lot of things. He's the king that you have to come to him, and you can pick his brain about things, but he's not going to go out and do anything for you on your behalf. You have to come to him, and then he can help you out. So I feel like this is going to be a card that you're going to have to make the effort to choose it, to get the guidance, and then it's willing to help you out. All right, guys, that is the Van Gogh Tarot review, and I hope you enjoyed this. Not every deck is going to be a winner, and for me, this just isn't a winner. It might be a winner for you, and if it is, awesome and amazing. I think that's wonderful. It would be a really dull, boring world if we all liked the same things. So I've enjoyed connecting with you in this way, sharing this 4th video of the eBay lot box series. And until we see you for the next one, take care and transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life.